And welcome, y'all. Yeah, welcome. I know y'all expecting the whole and the big. No, we appreciate you for stopping by, baby. Welcome. Listen, this is Zen Chaos. I am Dean. But that over there, that's the man Zen right there. That's the man Schris Zen. I still can't say it after all these years.
You said you got it. You got it. Schris, then you good.
Schris Zen, listen, you can go ahead on the YouTube machine and check him out. You can also go check him out on Instagram as well. All that information is actually going to be in the description below. Yeah, we've been trying to get a little bit better with that over here at BTB Productions. Listen, this is, I know a lot of you thinking like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Zen Chaos, and you haven't even told us what kind of show this is. You motherfuckers always doing something new. I'm confused. What's going on? You motherfuckers still going to be here? Yes. Zen Chaos will still be here. Conversations with Dean, not so much. For this reason, wanted to talk about politics, but just listening to me talk about it, I feel as if it's just one-sided, and then I come off like a complete and utter asshole more than what I naturally am. This brother that's sitting virtually across from me is the exact opposite. He is not only well-read, well-spoken, but his opinion is coming from a place of fact and not emotion.
Right.
And we don't always agree on things. You know what I mean? So this is going to be pretty fun. Listen, thank you, bro, for agreeing to go ahead
Thank
and
you
give
for
this thing
pushing
a
for this, bro.
give it a little bit.
You keep. I was like, I'm not even gonna check in to see if he like still wants to do this. And then you messaged. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. But
After the new year,
I'll follow up when you hit me up.
mm-hmm.
Nah, this is good. This will be fun.
It's like after the new year. Listen, I've been wanting to work and do something with you for a while. I was like, I gotta do something.
I don't think we're as opposite as it might, but we're still different. It'll help with different perspectives.
You gotta paint a little bit of the picture. You know what I'm saying? God damn, you know what I mean? We're opposite people. Don't listen to what he just said. He just had a momentary. It was a fucking.
I'm just saying.
It was a lapse in the Matrix. The Matrix just fucked a little bit. But
no, we have different perspectives. So yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But then also too, like you said, really not that different as well. You know what I mean? But I will say this to people. Like the name it says, it's gonna be Zen Chaos. So right now we're starting off real calm, cool, collective. Who knows how long that goes for? This could go from 0 to 100 real quick and then go right back to -50. Who knows? We don't know. Excuse me. All we know is that, whenever you come in here, what you're going to be seeing is that you'll be seeing opinions. We're also going to be bringing you articles. We may bring you videos. It could be a compilation of things. Who fucking knows? It depends on what we're feeling in that exact moment. But effectively, what we're going to be doing is have one hell of a goddamn debate in a way that, most folks are afraid of. And that's why, of course, we had to be under the BTB umbrella, because it's just so we just naturally don't give a fuck. So I'm like, oh, this is just the perfect place to piss even more people off, especially in pre-production, listening to Zen's ass. I was like, oh, he is waiting. So without further ado, I guess we're going to get right to it, huh?
Yes, sir.
So who's the first victim on the chopping block today?
Dr. Umar. Mr. Hotep, Pan-African, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, as he labels himself, the Prince of Pan-Africanism.
So
with his
yeah. So no, since you did that, we're going to start somewhere first. Originally, we were going to start in a post with his issues with the LGBTQ community. Well, excuse me, with his question that he had, right? But we're not even going to talk about that yet. Let's bridge it there first. I'm going to ask you this question. I'll let you start it off, and then I can piggyback because I've been talking a lot. What is your issue with Dr. Umar Johnson, if you have an issue with Dr. Umar Johnson?
My issue with Umar is he's emotional. I think he's too emotional. I think he was somebody when he first came out, I looked at as, I guess I don't look for leaders necessarily in the Black community, but when you look back on the past, you have your major people who people were able to follow behind. So I took him as one who was like, oh, you got an articulate Black man, well put together, seemed like he's got things going for him and can build a following. And he's bringing out some like good facts that they're not talking about out here. and I didn't know about it. I learned a lot of things in regards to just our history from people like him and Tariq Nasheed. So it's like, oh, you're a voice that can do something, and then I mean, we're 10 years in now to the school.
Mm,
You come out and say
mm.
some ignorant type stuff to me of you're not for black people if you don't marry a black woman. It's like you have to marry a black woman or you can't say you're for black people. So it's like, well, you don't really think behind what you say. He hopped on, there was something. I think even with some of the shootings, he hops on to, I'm not going to look at the videos. I'm not going to look up facts. I'm just going to talk and scream racism. And that, so I'm like, for
There's a video
having
that he
such a
said that.
powerful voice, for having such a powerful voice, for being so influential, like you flop. So now to
Mm,
then still be out here like, ooh, I'm this big bad man. No, like
mm.
he flopped. He let me down in that
I
sense.
got you. I got you. Hmm. Well, I agree with every point that you said. And to piggyback even more onto those points, I would say that looking at what turned me off to Umar was a few things. One, like you said, like if you're not dating, somebody black, obviously, he believes that you're not, for black people truly.
Mm-hmm.
Also too, just because of my lifestyle, obviously, he said that I don't see anybody, who's not procreating, you're a waste as well.
Or
Okay.
waste.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? Like you're not adding anything to this. Okay. Um, third, talking about the school, there's been a lot of money that has been sent for the school, right? Like even nickels and dimes. And we're gonna get into
Penny.
how you know
A
what I mean?
penny. He got
Even a penny.
for a penny.
You know what I'm saying? But even a penny, you know what I mean? But
Right.
like, people been doing this for a while now, but then
I
yeah,
forgot
you
about
got the
that part.
edifice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got the edifice, but there's nothing else really coming behind it. Like, okay, so even if you got the edifice, at least you'd be able to get something going in there. Like, all right, while we're trying to get this going on, we can at least get some kids or something going on within there. Excuse me. You see no kind of like, kind of positive, like, kind of movement going forward. But then also too, another thing is the way he was disrespecting people who would give him like donations. So there would be somebody who's like donating $35,
Yes.
somebody donating
Yes.
$20, and he was out there dressing them down as if
Yes.
like, oh well, you're fucking worthless, not being able to
Mhm.
do more. Like next time I'll fucking send it back and slap the piss out of you. And then like, so for instance, for me, right, like, so I have a mentor. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like to call him like OG Jones, coach. I mean, like, Coach J, whatever. Like, people know him as like, he is a strong black male figure. And he was always on that, pro-black tip and always informing us of our history, where you come from, what certain things is, why the world is the way it is, why you need to move a certain way. And there was always a way that he moved, no matter what man he's dealing with. But obviously, the way he deals with black men is the way that he moves. And when I look at somebody like Umar Johnson, I'm like, you are nowhere near that. Like, so I know this because I myself, I will drop the N-word every now and then. Like, it's not something that's like in there as if I was younger, but yeah, I'll definitely say it. You'll never hear that shit coming out of Jones's mouth. You see what I'm saying? But Umar, you get mad enough, you start using it in a way. I'm just like, I get it, but then aren't you supposed to be a little bit above this stuff? Like, and I get it. Of course, you want to be able to talk to, everybody, but the way in which he's using it, and then in the manner who you direct it towards, to me, it just is like, you just want to replace white supremacy with the black supremacy, but then you just really just want to, obviously just put over the, heterosexual black male. That's it. No one else. Doesn't matter. This is who everything runs to. If you don't fall under that, then you kind of got to get in line type shit. And unfortunately, with, I have to oppose that. You know what I mean? Which then leads us to this post, right? So this is the thing that kind of like I found drastically interesting about Dr. Umar Johnson. So him and then the whole Pan-African movement, right? In general, none of them, they all say, in fact, like, the LGBTQ community, for black community, like, you're fucking waste, like, you're useless. Like,
You're
we don't
killing
want you a
yourself.
part of it.
You are part of the white supremacist movement. You're supporting the white supremacist movement by trying to kill off our own people.
Yep. Yep. Even though adoption and obviously surrogacy and a whole bunch of shit
Yeah,
is in
and
play.
there are
But
some infertile women and people who just can't have babies. So now, what about y'all? Are
you
you
know,
worthless to them too
I
because you
guess
can't
you.
procreate?
I
People
guess you
who
are
try
right.
and it just doesn't happen. I guess all of y'all are just nothing to us. We don't care about y'all.
It's a very very interesting conversation. Hold on, let me just zoom in on this a little bit. Um. So yeah. So effectively, like Dr. Umar Johnson, he puts this question up. He goes, are black LGBTs the new house Negroes? Is your priority the gay pride movement or the black liberation struggle? The conversation is not about whether or not you agree with homosexuality. This will be a respectable and mature conversation between heterosexual activists and black LGBTs. What are the political principles, behaviors, and goals of the black LGBT movement, and does their political agenda harm or help the larger black community? Does the LGBT movement do anything to address larger black political issues, or are they consumed with their own sexual agenda? Are black LGBTs simply the side chicks and house Negroes of the white LGBT movement, or do they have an agenda of their own? Do they care about the plight of all blacks or just gays? Are you black first? Are you gay first? Both black LGBTs and heterosexuals are encouraged to give their opinions during this safe and respectful community conversation. That's what the
Bunch of
post said.
loaded questions. It's just like, let me throw a loaded question with another loaded question. Let me throw a fallacious question in the middle. Act like you choose to be gay.
It's a so let's go ahead and get into this thing, right, with Umar. So my first question would be ultimately, why do you care? And what I mean by why do you care is because by your own volition, by your own admission, by your own words, you don't want the black LGBTQ community to be a part of your movement anyway.
Right.
That's what you've said. So what do you give a fuck about what we do on this side of town in regards to activism or whatever the case may be? The second thing that he says is, are you black first or are you gay first? No, you're fucking black first, bro. Like, once again, you cannot hide that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Do you think somebody wants to? You think motherfuckers woke up and decided that they wanted to be a fucking double minority? Hated not only by the world, but then you hate it within your own community as well.
Right.
Certain people are hated in their families.
Right.
You know
So
what I'm
I
saying?
guess
Not
I'm gonna
me,
openly
but
choose.
there's you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Right.
it's sweet. So why would you want to wake up and do this
Right.
knowingly and you know what I mean? That makes not one bit of sense to me. Um, I going back to his question of what is the what is the political structure of it? Don't get me wrong, I have
He
some issues with. Go ahead, bro.
he had loaded something into one of the questions that he asked, where he says something like, "Are you for your own political agenda, or are you for the black agenda, or for your own sexual agenda?" And it's like, the agenda is not sex related. Like, none of it has to do with sex itself. Everything that they push for is just right stuff.
Facts.
So if you're saying sexual related, you're loading in that you think this is all about sex, like that
Mm-hmm.
homosexuality is a sex thing, not anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with anything else. It's all about sex. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you're fundamentally missing a point just by asking that question, and you're gonna get called out on that. And can almost guarantee you that would not go well. I can almost guarantee you his response would not go well. Like, somehow hop onto a defensive.
Oh yeah, of course he would, and it would. But then he still, and of course, I can already know what he would say is that, of course, I would have to care because, you're still black, so are you still fighting for the larger black movement? Doing what needs to be done, whatever the case may be. Ultimately, and then it goes back to you. But if you get things the way you want, we become eradicated. So what do we? What's the conversation? Like, shit, are you ready to have a conversation on how everyone can become inclusive within the black community to truly push this thing forward? Are you ready for that one, or is it just we got to play by your games and your rules?
Right. Are
Because it ain't
you
gonna work
supposed
that
to
way.
then support eradicating yourself? Like, I'm supposed to help get rid of gay and bisexual people, and that's my only way of supporting the black community. Like, me paying money to black businesses isn't. that doesn't qualify? It's not enough.
No,
Is there a limit that I have to put in?
there is definitely a limit.
That's
You know what I'm
always been
saying?
my question of from that is like, what exactly do you mean? Because my support generally goes as far as like subscribing to things, buying a product, like that's it.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Maybe you ask for a donation here and there, maybe, but like other than that, it's I take care of people. I look
100%.
out for my people in whatever way I can, maybe a little more than others. That's about it. So yeah, I could do more, but
You're not doing enough. You're just not doing enough, Zen. You're just not doing enough. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Even though your daughter is clearly half black, it's not kid's not
mm,
black by Umar standard. Kid's not
but
black.
I
Kid's not
mean,
black. Kid's
because
not black. Kid's not black. You don't have black kid.
mom's
You be
Spanish, but that's not it's not enough.
not black. Not black. Not black. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
care. Apparently, I have no
One
care.
one drop of non-black blood. Not black. Not black. Are
Not
you
black.
not black
I don't
anymore?
care. I am no longer a black man. I've lost it.
You know what I mean? You're no longer black. You're no longer black. You just been, you know what I'm saying? Just doing. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, it happens. It happens. I guess I'll be joining you there soon.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I got a Puerto Rican. It is what it is. You know, I guess
I mean,
not
it's
black.
you double hopped over the line there. So
Mm-hmm.
at
And
least
he's
to
a man.
him, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And he's a
yeah,
man. It's like, oh, you know what I mean? And then of course everybody looks at me like, you were a fucking good one. You could have bred something. It's like I still can, still have kids. Nobody's saying you're not gonna have no
yeah,
fucking kids. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But you know what I mean? It just situation gonna be a little different.
But then you'll
Now,
be in that household that they don't want people raised in. So,
yeah, which would
but
like
yet they
let me tell
want
you.
to raise a house of like 8 women married to one dude. Like somehow you want that
Speaking of
around.
8 women to one dude, speaking of that point, and speaking of the Prince of Pan-Africanism, right? We were talking about the lawyer. I don't want us to get off it. I don't want us to leave this.
Oh
But
yes,
we were about to slide on into something without really
yeah, yeah,
truly
yeah.
giving this man and his queens
Queens,
the just due that they
I love
truly
you,
and
Queen.
surely deserve. So now, we were speaking about earlier how Dr. Umar Johnson was out here. Excuse me. Dr. Umar Johnson was out here, dogging people, playing people like, oh, you just donating this, oh, you're doing that. You must be fucking poor. You must fucking suck. Get your life together. Cool. Now, he had a wedding.
Wedding, a
And
whole wedding.
whole wedding. And shout out to Mrs. Parker, the YouTube machine. Shout out to her for covering this. She's hilarious in her take of it.
Absolutely critical.
She was she was funny. She covered his wedding and showed a picture, and I want you all to see the dresses,
Oh,
the backdrop, and third, the overall location of the Prince of Pan-Africanism.
I think this was at his school. I think this
The one
took
that
place
has no
at
kids.
his school.
Has there been any kids in this school at
No
all?
school, no kids at the school. He can't. Last I remember, this was the stupidest thing. This is one of the things that really pissed me off with him. He said something like, "The school is about 2 weeks away from plumbing. Like he needs 2 weeks of plumbing, 2 weeks of like some other construction, and then 2 weeks of something else." He's like, "I need somebody to donate their time to do this work. Somebody willing to donate their time to do this work." He's like, "I had the supplies. I just need you to donate your time to do this work." I'm like, if anybody knows anything, you're asking them then to not work for 2 weeks, to come work full time for you for 2 weeks, not get paid on a job that you don't know is a 2 week job. If you do any type of construction work or any type of electrical or plumbing, I don't, but thinking about it, you're probably going to run into some type of an issue. So you got to plan for that. That means this person's got to plan for like a month of no income to come work for you when you're not going to end up paying them even afterwards.
It's not even like, we'll get you on the back, and you can't even
Yeah.
lie about that. Well, shout out to you for not lying at least about that part.
It's just, yo, come do this work for me for free. But like disguise it as like, are you gonna do this for your black children, for your black boys? Like, wait, you want me to not work for 3 weeks, possibly longer?
If you don't, you're not black. You're not black if you don't do
Right.
But talking about if you don't if you don't help with that plumbing with your time, you know what I mean. You don't care about these black boys. Obviously, this motherfucker doesn't care about his queens.
No.
Look at this shit. Now, people, I want you all. I'm gonna zoom in on this real fast.
Yes, please do.
So we gotta zoom in on this bad boy. Do y'all see? What the fuck? All right, we can't go in anymore. What the fuck is this? First of all, you got this bullshit ass red carpet. Then after that, both of their dresses, I feel as if this motherfucker went to Macy's to pick up.
That's basically what she said. She's like, she's like, you could look at the fit when they turn, you could see their bra straps in the back.
Ah!
You can tell that they just picked these up, put them on, didn't get them fitted, nothing. For his queens.
His fucking queens. I have a question. Does he have Dollar Tree Christmas lights up?
That's what it looks like.
With
like garland.
Bruh, why does this look like a bad, like this looks like a fucking bad church event?
This is
like
super low budget.
But then he got on air and was disrespecting people who were giving him $5, $10, who are obviously in a position such as himself. You can't tell me that Dr. Umar Johnson has money saved up. He's living hand to foot. So those same people that he was fucking out there dogging and being a fucking dickhead to, acting that he was mightier than thou and being bigger than all, you're literally in the same position they are. Like, this is some shit. Like, don't get me wrong. I've been to events like this, but not with people with fucking money or who proclaim to have money.
Event. This is not an Umar
event. Not at all.
And even low budget weddings are better than this. You at least get a fitted dress.
He couldn't go to the American Legion like everybody else.
He got himself
for the reception. You know what I mean? What are we
doing? It looks, if you look close at the ground, those look like grease stains.
Bruh, completely.
Those look like grease stains. That's a garage that they in. It looks like they're in a garage.
Why is little man not in the suit? Why is little man not in a suit? He could at least match your suit. Like, come on, son. He obviously is a prince. He's a fucking damn near 40-year-old prince. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch?
That's Umar, though. But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. He let me down. I had high hopes for him. I was like, all right, cool. I don't fully get your message or agree with you in the beginning, but whatever. I'll rock. I'll let you rock. See what you do. Maybe something will come of it. Nothing.
Nothing.
Hasn't gotten any starter. Nothing.
Just another nigga, which is like, you fucking failed.
Might call out some stuff. Might be right about certain things. Cool. Great. Everybody's right sometimes.
Yeah, but then also too is like sometimes like you're just so outlandish, and then it's just like it's as if you speak about a crab in a barrel bucket mentality, but you just want to create a bigger barrel. Effectively, like you're like when I'm talking to you, like to me when I'm listening to you, like you said, certain things you're saying are correct, but then a vast majority, I'm just like, what the fuck are we talking about right now?
Right. He repeats.
And why is that even acceptable?
I hate that he does that.
What happened?
He repeats himself. He does like that speaking in threes. It'll say the same thing 3 different times, and it still don't make sense.
Because he's a psychology major. Like, first of all,
he uses that psych thing.
I refuse. I refuse to go to be disrespectful. I'm not making fun of any. I'm just making fun of him and the edifice, everything else in this building. But I do have questions for his wives. How and why? Like, is he
their financial thing? That's. I'm assuming.
But what money does he have? Like, you can't.
They're waiting for him to come into it.
Or, how old is he?
He's got to be mid-40s.
Nigga, like, bro, like you've been like.
Gotta be. Still not doing that.
Nah, like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's probably making like a little bit of. He goes around.
More than me.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Definitely making more than me. You know what I mean? But that still doesn't it still doesn't change the fact that one, he's still not shit, and like, you know, two, like, you know, you preying on people, like, because he's preying on people.
Yes.
He's preying on the vulnerabilities. He's preying on people who do have, like, you know, a good heart, and then he's like effectively exploiting it, and then turning some of them to the dark side, and you know, and shit. I'll say, listen, I'll repeat the same thing he said. Don't argue with niggas that Harriet Tubman would have shot. I'll leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
So now,
yes, he does prey on. He's got a community that he aims. Is like, I'm gonna get y'all. Y'all gonna either give women to give money, and then men to want to get women to do that, so they follow.
Yeah,
because they think that's how Pan-African life is
I
supposed
gotta
to
have multiple wives and do this. Can you afford them? Can you afford them? Now, listen, there are some dudes out there who, right, wrong, or indifferent, they got 2 families, sometimes 3, and they're able to afford them.
Polite seems to be fine. Here's another interesting one.
Oh,
we won't go there. We won't go there now.
I'm about to say I just opened the second. We can get into polite.
Polite's different. I don't hate
completely.
him.
Didn't he get caught with some underage girls, or am I just speaking out of? Am I wrong?
He had.
I feel like I
don't
heard
know.
something like
I don't know
that.
about underage. I remember something about beating a girl, hitting a girl.
Beating girls. Okay, well, I apologize if I'm wrong about the underage thing.
I don't think underage. I think he hit someone.
I
think he got off.
One of them.
Yeah, but he's
different.
He's different. He's different more because he's like that, just a super health type. He spins everything. He makes everything sound like it's gonna be something wild and crazy, but it's all about health. It's largely what he talks about: health and finance.
Yeah, I remember he used to be on the like. He used to be going, like, you know, he used to be going down to Jamaica Ave. I remember those videos. That was a wild time with Brother Polite.
Yeah, his old stuff was different. He is evolved. I give him credit. He's evolved. He's still he's still out there, but he's evolved. I give him. I remember in the beginning, I was like, "Yo, you wild," and then now I'm like, "Yeah, you make sense. I get you. I see. I see the angle you're coming from. I see where you're going with it. A lot of health type. Oh, use like gun references to lemon, to herbs, doing like what to use for your body. Doing it. I'm like, all right, cool.
All right. Well, gonna do a little bit of a transition.
It's time.
You know what I mean? A little bit. We're gonna just slide on in there. We're gonna now starting to, you know, it's gonna get a little fun. Now, I guess I have to preface this by saying I hate Joe Biden. I fucking do. I hate Joe Biden.
I don't care. He's boring. I like Trump because at least Trump was fun.
Biden that was a dangerous time to be living in. It was crazy with Trump. But
it was good
with you are stupid. It was fun.
It was so much fun.
Wake up. He just was like,
wake up.
Are we gonna live? Are we gonna live today? Or are we gonna die today?
No.
Who knows? The thing with Biden, I guess for me, that bothers me is that all you people were fooled. You all were fooled into thinking that he was actually going to do everything he said he was going to do, particularly the black people, when he's shown time and time again within his track record that he never gave a damn about us, the same way that most of the Democratic Party never gave a damn about us. They give us, you know, placeholders and they placate us, and you motherfuckers just take that for gospel, whatever. So that's why I hate him the most. You know, I just hate him, and Tulsi Gabbard should have been the president. It's a shame I'm not waking up seeing that, but whatever. What the fuck do I know? Now, back on Biden's failed promises and telling folks that, you know, if you don't vote for him, then you're not black. Well, I would say that if you didn't vote for Biden as a black person, you were right. You got to be blacker than black at this point. If you didn't vote for Biden, right? Because what has he done for us?
Exactly.
And you know what? Instead of me and Zen trying to sit here and tell you, we're gonna just go ahead and we're gonna slide into you know, someone who I'm a big follower of, you know, Teslin Figaro.
Thank you for voting me on.
Oh, no doubt, bro. Like
She's
I try to
cool.
put everybody on the Tesla side. She's dope. She's thorough. She's like,
Yeah, she sounds it. A couple videos I watched. Yeah.
Oh no, she's about it. And then like if you look at her track record, excuse me, she's about this business. So we're gonna go ahead and look at one of her videos. And we're gonna have to do the 30-second, pause and kind of thing, folks. We're probably not gonna be, we're not gonna be there.
No copyrights.
You know what I mean? No copyrights. And listen, we're not gonna be there for the whole 9 minutes. We're gonna kind of get our nuts and bolts, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So don't get fucking shocked like they're gonna be there for not. Like we're not. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But let's just rock out and let's see what's going on and what she says about in regards to Joseph Biden and them failed fucking promises.
That it's not just about the backdoor politics of meetings with the presidents and other leaders. It's about local activism. What's your reaction?
It's about both, considering that at the beginning of this administration, they did have a backroom meeting with President Joe Biden, and he slammed the door in their face, told them flat out that he would move forward with executive orders to commit to Black voters or any other promises that.
That was the first, like that alone. I was like, all right, we good. I don't like you.
You know what I mean? And that was, and if I'm not mistaken, because remember this happened twice. Because remember he got on the Zoom call.
Yeah.
What happened? Because you remember he got on the Zoom call, and this was, I believe, this was like he was the incumbent. No, excuse me, not the incumbent. He was the president-elect, and then he had a conversation with Black leaders because he was like, "Oh, y'all got to get this rioting and this shit under control. This shit's out of hand now. You motherfuckers is wilding." Well, first of all, Joe Biden's track record told me not to trust him, and I was not going to be voting for this man. But when he said when he did that to those Black political leaders, I was in shock. I was like, "Oh, y'all gonna let Joseph Biden get away with this? The same one who said that we not Black if you don't vote for him?" And then everyone wants to come out here and then make these like, "Oh, well, you will give him excuses? Suck my dick. Fuck him."
Yeah. That's what I said right from the beginning. Right, first, that was the first thing. I'm like, "Hey, you don't want to talk to us? There's no point. You don't care." I was like, "Hey, at the least, sit down and talk." And this is where Trump talked. I'm like, "Can you?" They at least sat down with him.
Listen, Trump did talk. Trump did. He did have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
He had a plan for the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
The thing,
details about it were questionable.
They were super questionable.
That's the Republican element of it.
That's of course the Republican element. But then
they had something.
But then that becomes the question, right? Which side at that point would you rather then work with to then put your back in behind? And what I mean by that is that, and they're truly having a leverage on your vote. Because like for Black people, like I don't know if you realize this or not, we have no fucking leverage. They all know we're gonna vote fucking the left all the time. All they gotta do is come up every 4 years with some big old bullshit, come around the community, say what they will do, apologize. Like, listen, I was in office for 85 years before. I've never done any of these things, but I'm gonna come into office today and do all of these things. I apologize I didn't do it in the past, but the past me is not the current me. And we fucking sit there and we fucking eat this shit up like we're fucking dickheads. Every 4 years. But that Republican shit, you did have a fucking plan. You could have, if you have some more debate on there, maybe you have a better plan. But then also, ultimately, right. I think the reason that both parties disrespect us and why neither one is truly for us, and and hold on, I'm gonna say this point to Republicans. Actually, let me tell you why we don't vote for your dumbasses. Because what you do is the same thing that the Dems do. Every 4 years, you come around, hey. They ain't doing nothing for you, man. Give us a try. Come on, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. We may not like you, and fuck you and everything that you may stand for, shit like that. Fundamentally, I don't. I want to, I'm superior to you and I want to be above that. But no. We can make this thing work. Come on over. That's what y'all do every 4 years. So the fuck we care about y'all for? Y'all don't come around and say, we can go ahead and fix this. Show y'all the good old way. Yeah, come on to the red side. That's what we do. Yeah, see, community fixed, done. Yeah, we can work with y'all. No, there is none of that on either side. So, but the reason they're able to do that to us is because we're not in any political office and we don't ever pay fucking attention. We don't. Most of these people who voted for Biden is like, yeah, he's doing a great job. No, he's not.
He's not Trump. They voted for Biden just say because he wasn't Trump.
Which is
But
like, if you're gonna
Republicans,
keep it,
I think Republicans, they say, come over to our side because from our side, we're just going to tell you to do it on your own, kind of thing. And then because that's how they work. That's what
Very
Trump's whole
true.
thing was like, I'm gonna give you money and here,
Figure it out.
figure it out. Which listening to people talk about, they're like, cool, you have a plan, but he's like, but people who understand, like, that doesn't work because people still have to end up taking the money from you and doing something with it. And if you don't have place to do that, then you've given us money to do nothing.
And they
with
don't
it.
have resources. Exactly.
But now you look,
ends up,
I did something. You can't say I didn't do anything. Knowing that what they're doing for us isn't going to get us anywhere.
And then the money ends up being wasted and then rolled right back into
the same people's hands.
Ain't this about a bitch?
Why? Because if you give us the money to go out and try and do these things, it's probably not going to work. Why? Because the other people aren't going to go with it. But if you come to our side, you'll at least get to try.
You can try. You can try. You know what I'm saying? Listen, do you just want to be fucked, or do you want to be fucked with a reach around? That becomes a question. But the reach around is kind of, who knows? Who knows? Here we go.
That he's made. So it's a little bit of both. It's the activists on the ground, but it is more so those backroom meetings, because the activists have been screaming, they've been activating, they've been marching, they've been pleading, begging, singing hymns for the last several decades. The question now is, who is having the meeting? It was a poem that I did in 2014, and I said, I don't hear him making no noise on the national scene. Who reps my interests? So
She said a lot there.
She did.
Politics is a game that is played, obviously in front of the cameras, but largely most of it is behind the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's I would say that the reason that lobbying hasn't been, banned from, happening within those sacred walls, alleged sacred walls, you know what I mean? Is because that's where the decisions are made. That's where the money is coming from. See, the money makes the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever disrupts the money needs that deserves the most attention. You got to give it the most care, or whatever brings you the most money. Black people bring this country a ton of money, and we also we disrupted at times, but not mostly. They got just place status.
Yeah, for the most part, good money.
And
we have that circulating money because
it doesn't go in our communities. You mean
we're too small. We're too many of us are within that bubble of your money's not growing out of this. Middle income people paying for the lower income feeding off the middle income, and this is where we all stay.
Yep, and then you know what I mean. And the few of us who were able to escape get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on, let's keep listening to see what she's building to.
So it is absolutely about who's in the back room, and it's time to expose those who have played this game, who have allowed this type of foolishness to happen, not just with the Build Back Better, but all of the things of the broken promises, not just to the Black community, but even today, once again, not delivering on a promise to cancel student loan debt of $10,000. Democrats, I give it to them. They don't know how to lose small. They know how to lose big. They say if they're going to lose it all. And
so I don't know if we went past the 30 seconds there. I hope not.
You'll be fine. As long as we're stopping, you should be fine. I know you've dealt with some, but what I've seen,
the player haters have gone through it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Shout out Craig Mack over there. Y'all go ahead and check us out on Facebook. Who knows how long we'll be over there for? Fucking
Wait,
did I just get the fucking? Did we just put the Hump Day highlights background on here?
You did.
How did this? When did that happen? How did that happen?
Pop in and nowhere. I thought it was a thumbs up thing, so I kind of glanced.
Yeah, no, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, well, shit. Shout out to Los and Hump Day highlights, but no, that wasn't. No, this wasn't what we tried to do today. So yeah, back on to and we're not gonna edit out. Don't give a fuck. It, this is what happens.
Take it as is. It's how we come.
It's life.
Natural.
You know what I mean? So
what did she just say?
I know we fucking missed all that. All right, let's rewind it.
with the Build Back Better, but all of the things of the broken.
Oh yes, she was talking about the failed promises of these leaders, especially then Joseph Biden saying that he was going to cancel $10,000 with the student loan debt. He failed on that. She said how
it's like, oh, I can't do it. We'll try, and if we don't, then we'll keep trying. Like,
bruh, he
just executive order. Everybody else does it.
But you know what though? He has proven that he has no problem doing executive orders. He's actually had more than fucking Trump. So hold on, let's say the number of Joe.
Yeah, he did it more in the beginning, I think, than him.
I'm talking about the date though.
None of them did anything. They don't do anything.
So right now, what the fuck? I just want a total number from Joseph fucking Biden. All right. They don't have I cannot find.
Nobody's quantified it.
Well, as of January, he's published 77 executive orders so far.
So you could do it in terms of student loan, 10 grand of student loan debt for people. You would think.
Watch how that would stimulate the economy.
Right.
It would. You can't say it wouldn't. No one can argue. Like, it would.
For some people, that'll help a lot. For some people, a little, but yes, it'll stimulate something.
It's interesting, but then also too, but then obviously Democrats are, they're pushing for abolish student loan debt in general. Would be the whole student loan debt conversation is interesting one, especially when you start looking at places like Navy and who has to now pay some of the their lenders back because of their predatory loan practices. That is a whole conversation in itself that does
you basically scammed people kind of into loans.
100%.
Like, you didn't tell us what we were getting into. You're dealing with 18-year-olds.
Who were doing the fast food because our parents couldn't do it. And they're just like, fucking do the shit. And you're like, it's
done.
Do it
for the whole thing. Yep, cool. Here you go.
I remember the first loan I chose off the fast. I was like, oh, my mother fucking. I said, excuse me. I said, oh, my mother used to work for Chase, so let's use the Chase loan. I was like, oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible for the student loan shit. I was like, this is terrible. I was like, fuck, no, redo. It was so. Yeah, we're in an interesting time. But yeah, let's go back on Tesla.
Promises, not just to the Black community, but even today. Once again,
let's get to that 20 minutes.
It has just been a horrible year, and I really don't understand how they plan on coming back around next year before March when the midterms actually start.
Speaking of that, do we expect the Democrats to win the midterms?
See, I don't know midterm election stuff. Like, to me, that's where
you can lose control of the Senate and the House.
That's where I think all of the voting restriction stuff happen, like what they eventually will get to. But I think that's maybe what that has to do with, because it can't be the presidency. The presidency doesn't seem to do much in the end. So you can't be like, oh, we need strict voting laws for the presidency. Like, I feel like it's more for this in-between stuff.
100%. It's for your local elections. It's for your state elections. 100%. Your senators, your congressmen and women. Yeah, no, 100%.
So they're like, yo, we don't want to let you guys run up the numbers here, because this is where y'all actually will make something happen.
This is where the money is fucking made. Remember, the motherfucker who's sitting in the big chair, we got him for what, 8 years at most? That's cute.
Right.
I can be here for,
oh my God,
generation ain't the word. You got these people sitting like, yo, they die in office.
Yeah. So that's what it's like. Oh, we're gonna restrict. If we're restricting voting, we want to restrict voting here for these. But this is where I think before, when I was registered as independent, I'm like, I don't think I was able to even do things, because I'm like, I don't know. I don't pay attention. But I was like, I don't think as independent you can do anything. You have to pick one side in order to participate in these midterm things.
Yeah, exactly. So like I was originally a registered independent. Could never do anything for midterms or shit like that. But now I'm a registered libertarian, so I can vote. And like in New York, you know what I mean. We do have a libertarian party, so I can vote in that shit.
I registered
But like I still
Republican.
can't. Interesting. What made you do that?
Just because.
You just want to be an asshole.
Yeah, kind of.
Hilarious.
I wanted to be able to counter any argument of, oh, well, you're a Democrat, you're a registered Democrat. Like, no, technically, no. I'm not even a Democrat anyway, but I'm not registered as one either. I'm registered Republican.
Double down.
So now what?
It's very interesting. But you know, I think that whole two-party system is a joke to me. Especially because you know what? I know that they're gonna get into some stuff. But you know what? How about you and I kind of get in because we're on the voting shit anyway, right?
Mm.
We might as well slide right on into this bag.
That works.
So
that's what the big point of her thing is too. The filibuster thing. So that's part of the broken promises.
Now, do you want? So before we pull up this Build Back America, bill that they got sitting out there that they're trying to pass into law. Do you want to talk about the filibuster a little bit and explain to people what a filibuster is?
We can. We have to go to the definition, but from what I've looked up, I do remember, or from what I looked up, it was
boom. I got you.
Got a bill right here. Oh, this will help because I think this is exactly what I read.
Yep. So let's go ahead. From this www.senate.gov. The Senate tradition of unlimited debate has allowed for the use of the filibuster, a loosely defined term for action designed to prolong debate and delay or prevent a vote on a bill, resolution, amendment, or other debatable question. Prior to 1917, the Senate rules did not provide for a way to end debate and force a vote on a measure. That year, the Senate adopted a rule to allow a 2/3 majority to end the filibuster or produce known as cloture. Whatever. Yeah, cloture?
Looks like it.
Cloture.
Could be. Procedure known as clitoris.
In 1975, the Senate reduced the number of votes required for clitor from 2/3 of senators voting to 3/5 of all senators duly chosen and sworn, or 60 of the 100-member Senate. All right. Now you can kind of get into the whole the breakdown. Those are some of famous ones.
Yeah.
Man, there was a civil rights filibuster. Filibuster defeats the Supreme Court appointee. You know what I mean? Keeping session, sitting in session overnight. They got a whole bunch of crazy shit going on.
So now to end this, I'm guessing they're trying to get rid of the 60 rule and just say you can force it through.
They want
55.
Yes, everyone is clamoring. Well, not everyone. Well, right now the Democrats are clamoring to end the filibuster. I always wonder if people understand. Like, okay, you do this today because you're on this side of it. But what happens when you're not?
Right.
What happens then? Like, there is certain, and don't get me wrong, you do have to change with the times, but there are certain things within America that makes America run that has allowed America to move the way it moves. Does it need to be updated? Yes. But then the question becomes, like, you end this today. Like, what happens? What happens when you're on the losing side of it? What happens when the Republicans flip the Senate and flip the fucking House? And
that
then
will
these
be one.
That would be one. I
mean? So,
but that's what the midterms are about, baby.
You got to eat it then. The issue is the Democrats are good for let's flip this now, and then when it bites us, let's get mad at the fact that it was flipped.
This shouldn't even be allowed.
Right. Like, so, yeah. But then if you have something like, oh, I could have one senator in there sit there blocking it every time.
That also needs to be addressed. Can't have that neither. You're holding up progress.
Isn't that what the whole Joe Manchin thing is?
Ain't that what old Joey boy doing?
Like, I'm trying to figure out, and doing the research prior to this, trying to listen. There was not on the voting rights, but it came up on the in the bill, how they're trying to put in the Build Back Better bill, the parental leave stuff. And he's
Okay.
like, oh, I'm not trying to agree to any of that. I'm not trying to extend the timeout because it's going to hurt businesses too much. It's like, but like if they come back with something better, then maybe we'll be able to agree. And it's like, well,
What
if
is the better thing
you're
that
gonna,
you're looking
yeah,
for?
what are you looking for? Because apparently they keep offering you stuff and you keep moving the goalposts. Granted, I didn't have time to look up to so what goalposts he's shifting, but what are you looking for then? What is going to be, what in this is not good, and what needs to be added to fix it? Because if it's that simple, then why is this so hard? Are you not
Well,
providing then a clear cut? This is what it needs to have too.
Well, obviously, remember it's a lot more than just like, this is what it can't be clear cut because remember this is politics.
Yes.
So much of like theater, right? Excuse me.
Even in like what we read earlier, you could see like there's elements of like, we don't like this part.
Yeah, right.
Automatic voter rights, cool, done, same day. Nah, I don't like that.
So speaking of that, right? So now let's actually you and I. So yeah, people, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull up the Build Back. No, this isn't Build Back Better America. This is the For the People Act. This is gonna be the new voting act. And because I know a lot of people they're talking about it, but I don't know how many of us have looked at it. And we're gonna pull up the summary of it. This is gonna come right from the fucking Congress website. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So we're gonna pull this bill up on here. No, that's fucking filibusters. Where the fuck is the guy? Oh, there we go. All right. Shown here, introduced in the House, January 4th, 2021. Right? Actually, no, we should probably, we should do the March one, the one that passed. So this is passed in the House, right? This is the one that passed. All right. Same bill, but I just wanted to put the past one. All right. So we're gonna go down and break this bad boy down, and then let's talk about this thing, right? So this bill that they're trying to get passed is being held up, multitude of reasons. This is a summary of it. One part of it is this bill addresses voter access, election integrity, and security, campaign finance, and ethics for the three branches of government. All right, that's pretty cool. So that's what it addresses. That's pretty cool. Good. We can all agree on that.
That's where we're at.
Now, yeah, I mean, through and through, cool. Specifically, the bill expands voter registration, automatic and same-day registration, and voting access, vote by mail and early voting. It also limits removing voters from voter rolls. Got problems with that.
Right off the bat.
100%.
Right off the bat.
So I guess here's the thing, right? I know people saying you can pay your taxes online, right? You can pay your taxes online. If you can pay your taxes online, why can't you? Why wouldn't we be able to have like a same day registration or like automatic registrations? Now, automatic registration one I'm not mad at. When you go to renew your license, right. Yeah, you should be able to have that option. I know in New York you do, like, because I had to just recently go renew my shit, and they were like, "Are you registered to vote?" Like, I am.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but I was able to actually change my party at that time. I was independent and I changed it to libertarian. So
yeah, I think I did that when I did my license too.
That I love that shit. Perfect, right? Same day registration, I am not with, because how would I be able to tell that you registered here, but then you didn't go register and voted somewhere else? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can we fix that one?
Right. It allows for too much of a glitch in the system, and then by the time you catch it and fix it, the person has already casted a vote or already participated in some way that's like, you can't undo this now. So why would you add in? Why is it? My question would be, why is this part there? Why do you need same day? 3 days.
That's weird.
Give 3 days, 3 business days. Cool. Respond that quick, but same day.
Especially when you're looking at voting access, especially when it says like vote by mail and early voting.
Which
now
plays into I think we can go out, get you registered, and then vote same day. And boom, we're running out. We're on the last day of elections. So, hey, have you registered? No, here, you can do it quick on here. I have this tablet. And then here, you could vote for us because we just helped you do that.
Yep.
So you're gaming the system.
But then even like besides, so like the voting by mail, right? So I remember I had to send an absentee ballot by mail, and it was my fault. Sent it. It was pushing the deadline, right? A few days before.
Mm.
Now, when I tracked it the whole time, I'm pretty sure that my vote was not counted.
Mm.
Pretty damn sure.
Based off when it arrived.
Based off of when it arrived, right? Wouldn't we look to more so not do a vote by mail, but something else? But then also too, I don't know if you want to do that, because if you do it on the internet, you run risk of, like, potential like cyber warfare, right?
Mm.
But then we already have that anyway with our voting machines. What's the difference? Like, would the threat be greater? Is my question.
Yes. Especially now.
True.
With how easily people are hacking into the computer things, there's no way that would not get hacked and jacked up.
But then what's the difference between that getting hacked and jacked up or somebody rigging machines? How hard would it be for fucking, like, okay, like if I'm like one of these nations, and it's like, okay, we're gonna take a long play. These are the companies that that have some kind of relation to like the voting machines or whatever. We get some people, we groom them up. You know what I mean? America has this law. You're born in America, you're automatically American citizen. You do all these unalienated rights. You can go take the kid back to China, take the kid back to Russia, raise the kid as a fucking spy, send them back over there. They're gonna get all that goddamn they're gonna have like all that same all the same shit that any other American have. We can fucking get them into these jobs, and now boom, we're able to now start fucking with their machines and shit. They have no fucking clue.
Could.
I was thinking about that shit the other day. I was like, who's to say that fucking, like, have you ever noticed like on your out, and this is going to tie into this, right? I've noticed on my YouTube algorithm, I'll be watching shit, and all of a sudden I'm seeing shit from like Russia and China. I'm like, why is that popping up on my algorithm? I don't like that kind of shit. Why? I always dislike
because
it. Like,
you
why?
search news stuff. It's the cookies thing.
Oh,
it's gotta be. That's what I've come to. It's in doing this data analytics training. I did learn what cookies do. So it's like, oh, that's why you use them. So yeah, this is how things pop up in other places. YouTube algorithm is a little weirder, I think, but it's got to be related to that. Just the politics thing.
I got you, because it'd be shit. I'm like, why are you showing me that? I'm like, are you trying to fucking desensitize me to certain shit? Because like, no,
knows you're gonna click on it.
Red, white, and blue over here, baby. Depending on what it is, I'll click on this. But like, I fucking hate Putin. And I hate President Yi. I hate all of them niggas. All right, but back onto our problems in the States. But also
you were saying mail-in voting. I don't.
Yeah. So, and then is the USPS sucks?
Yes. Trash.
USPS, excuse me.
Yes, they're trash. It's mail. It's still an old form of getting moving.
When they say early voting, like how early?
To that, I don't know.
And then on top of that, so if you do early voting, how can we make sure that you also then can't go and vote in person? How do we make sure your vote's not counted twice?
Right. Like you mailed it and then beat to the poll. Yeah.
And also too, like, there has to be some way, like, so when it says also limits removing voters from the rolls, I'm gonna need more, I would need to go more into that. Like, what do you mean? Like, because we have to do something whereas like, you're purging deceased. That has to happen.
Yeah.
If they're deceased, they should not be on the rolls anymore.
In the system.
Something like that.
Some form of early prep. You've gone through and cleaned up the data cleaning. Like you've gone up and cleaned up what you're sending out before you send it out.
And this can actually be something that's done daily, because like, so typically what happens, folks, is like, if somebody transitions, you meet with the family, the funeral home contacts Social Security to notify Social Security this person is no longer with us.
And they even will contact social services and notify social services that this person is no longer with us. So
if we're having all these conversations, I don't understand why we just couldn't add the voting shit to that.
I'm a voter thing. they're dead.
You know what I mean?
Mail them a ballot.
Don't mail
That
them a
system
ballot. Their
somehow
vote
can't
doesn't
catch that.
count. If somebody votes with his name, we kind of want to tag it.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
Yes, red flag. That's it, and that's all it needs is a red flag indicator. You have a red flag on all these. Have somebody sit down and scan every red flag one.
Explain that bad boy. Now, it says the bill requires states to establish independent redistricting commissions to carry out congressional redistricting.
You don't know what that means.
Exactly. What does that mean on top of that? Like, don't know how much I feel about that because right now we have fucking in New York. So right now I live in what's called the Capital Region. They're trying to redistrict that to break us up into three different kind of districts, when effectively that actually weakens our power. We're known as a capital district for a reason. Like, we're able to do a lot of school shit because all of our shit's connected. Now, if you start pushing us all the way, making it so that you have to vote in different interests, gets a little wonky. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you start looking at what you're redistricting and who gets absolved into whom.
A.k.a. like who's in charge now of what areas?
Exactly. So will your votes be diluted?
Right. Are you trying to play with numbers somewhere?
100. They always are. That's what they're trying to do in New York right now. Because everybody's moving to Florida. That's what's happening. Everybody's leaving Florida, especially in the upstate region. That's where most of the people leaving. Like, it's funny. Like, a lot of people coming up here, but then a lot of people are leaving. So I feel like it's always going to be like this decent kind of thing up here, which I like. I don't like a lot of people here anyway. So I'm fine if people want to leave and go, because then there are people coming up here. That's cool. But since people are leaving, they're trying to redistrict shit to because of the census. You lost a lot of people because of the census. And it's like I okay, cool, but like no, not with it. So when you start talking about these independent redistricting commissions, definitely need to know about, well, what do you mean by independent? Who does this make up? How do you get on this board? And how do we regulate and check this shit?
Right. So that you can't now purposely skew numbers.
100%. I should probably
I can see that.
Sorry about that, people. I should have did this earlier.
I think that's what's playing into Georgia's thing with their laws, why they're so against their changing theirs, because they're, I believe, trying to do the same thing with redistricting there, and then their whole poll restriction things. But
yeah, and then it's like weird, like too, like you can't offer anybody water if they're standing out there. Like, it's a lot of those. And then it just makes you wonder, like, well, what is this for? And then when you find out that somebody has to drive like 45 minutes to vote, that is unacceptable.
But then they can't necessarily mail in because
of the mail. So there does need to
aren't open yet, or open only in
So there does need to be some kind of conversation. So now you do kind of understand where that question comes from, but there does need to have a conversation on voting access and how do we make this bad boy more accessible to people. And not for nothing, our government wastes a lot of fucking money. I keep saying this. I'll say this point all the time. We wasted $32 million alone trying to figure out why your hair turns gray. That's what we did, America. That is what we did. We also paid money to see why, like, how cocaine affects certain animals. It's a lot of shit going on, right? So if we're wasting money left and right, we can easily look at our budget, and then we can easily restructure that thing or look to allocate money elsewhere to be able to make voting more accessible.
You would think.
You can. They don't want to.
Right.
It's all a joke. Fuck. Yeah, like I'm on a second. I should get a third beer.
Now I'm pretty sure that's what's playing into why they're fighting so hard against the laws that are coming up in Georgia, because of, like, you're switching stuff up in an area, making it hard for a group of people, kind of making it hard for regular working people, because regular job working people can't really get off like that without losing some money. You're playing with that, saying, hey, you can't really mail in your stuff yet. Oh, if you send it in, you got to have, like, to me, the ID thing is whatever. You want IDs, make IDs, or make people present IDs, because
so that illegal. That doesn't bother me.
No.
I know most, like, everyone I know has IDs.
Right. Just literally, oh, you can only do it here on these days in this area. Like, if you're doing things like that, then that's jacked up.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You can keep going.
All right, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, I was having to look at. I was like googling something too. All right, so additionally, the bill sets forth provisions related to election security, including sharing intelligence information with state election officials, supporting states in securing their election systems, developing a national strategy to protect U.S. democratic institutions, establishing in the legislative branch the National Commission to protect United States democratic institutions, and other provisions to improve the cybersecurity of election systems. I can agree with that one.
Fine with that.
100%. Further, the bill addresses campaign finance, including by expanding the prohibition on campaign spending by foreign nationals, requiring additional disclosure of campaign-related fundraising and spending, requiring additional disclaimers regarding certain political advertising, and establishing an alternative campaign funding system for certain federal offices. Super good with that one.
I don't see any issues.
Nope.
That's why I don't think there's an issue with those.
Yeah, no. And then, these last two, the bill addresses ethics in all three branches of government, including by requiring a code of conduct for Supreme Court justices, prohibiting members of the House from serving on the board of a for-profit entity, and establishing additional conflict of interest and ethics provisions for federal employees and the White House. The bill requires the president, vice president, and certain candidates for those offices to disclose 10 years of tax returns. I can tell you right now what the Republicans have issues with.
Yep.
That they have issues with this, they have issues with this, and they have issues with this. Don't get me wrong, there are certain Democrats probably have issues with it too, but then those are issues that Republicans are holding.
The Republicans, yeah, I know the first one for sure. The financing, I would say, is more of a like.
No,
I guess you need to fund your own pockets and play with money in that area.
Well, no, let's have a question. So, when you look at somebody like Michael Flynn, he was a he was like a military lieutenant or general, something like that. I think he was like supposed to be like a national security advisor or something for Donald Trump. He have heavy ties to Russia.
Yeah, so that we shouldn't be able to have.
You know what I mean? Same way that fucking Joseph Biden's son, you know what I mean? Well, Joseph Biden's a different thing, but you know what I mean? Like, it's different. Like, people have all kinds of ties. Well, shit. Let's, for instance, think about the spies that, like, Eric Swalwell, who is like, he was I think he was a congressman or a senator, I forget, out of California, and he was compromised by that Chinese spy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's like, both parties have issues with it, but I'm guarantee you Republicans are definitely banging this drum. This right here. This is the Trojan horse that Republicans are using.
Right.
But these motherfuckers are issues. Particularly this. Particularly this. You messing with their pockets.
Oh, that part. Yes. Yeah. I saw that part. I'm like, this means you can't make money on the side.
Yeah, you could.
Like, you can.
Non-for-profits make a whole lot of money.
Right. That's what I mean, though.
That's just a for-profit.
Right. This is probably cutting into their direct money. Not-for-profits are ones that you're probably not supposed to be making bread like that either, though. I would think, no?
You're not supposed to, but they make a lot of money. Make a lot of money, Zen.
Yeah, so this one, I was like, I have a feeling I don't like that part either.
So it's
should be more accountable. Which then leads you to say, why do you care? Why do you care that much? How much of your pockets is that really going to affect?
Well, shit. Think about it. The American Legislative Exchange Council. So that's a board that, get your lobbyists and they put them with your politicians together, right? I know people have heard me, regular listeners have heard me say that a lot. But think about that, for instance, right? So then when you get these lobbyists together with, these politicians on the right and the left, they create these fucking boards and shit like that. And you have these politicians on the board to give them more prestige, whatever the case may be. People funneling money left and right. That's how you're fucking with their pockets. Think about it. Why are so many people on the Hill millionaires? I'm confused.
Right.
You're not supposed to get rich from that job. Matter of fact, I'm supposed to be able to see you in my community.
Right. You're regular.
And it shouldn't be, I shouldn't bat an eye either. It's like, yeah, I fucking go down to Stop and Shop. I see that scumbag, whoever, piece of shit, whatever. Just ignore him. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to those stories about, like, you know, politicians not even, you know, wanting to be seen in their community for what they've done? That doesn't happen anymore because, you know what? They live down there in Washington. They live in these fucking multi-million-dollar houses, and their kids go to these, like, you know, elite schools, and then they just keep that knowledge and power within themselves. It's really there's a book that I had listened to. Justin put me on to it, and I don't want to discourage. I mean, excuse me. I don't want to get the name or anything wrong of it. Fucking sign me in, you scumbag. But it was like something with the, hold on, I got it. They're making me sign in to fucking Amazon people. But it was effectively like it was talking about like the caste system in America. How there, like, it explained how there is a caste system within America, and this is the kind of shit that directly speaks to it. And yeah, it's not in the surface, and you got to kind of look underneath a little bit. Shout out to Naruto,
Yeah,
Kakashi in particular. But you know what I mean? Like, you gotta like, it's really right in front of our faces, and we just let these motherfuckers do whatever the fuck they want. It's like, suck my dick.
there is, yeah. The world's
Right?
not, this country's not built for, it's not for everyone to come up.
No, not at all.
The majority of us sit in this little circle and just feed each other. But yeah, that part, in seeing that part, I was like, I have a feeling they don't like it. It's not enough, though, that they could fight tooth and nail. It's that other line. That other line, that automatic, because all they hear is illegals. Granted, they don't have, I heard this point brought up. I think, if not her, somebody brought it up. But they were like, you have your Democrats lying about what they're going to do, promise you, and mad, or you have the Democrats lying about what they're going to do for you. But then you have the Republicans on the other side doing things like these voter ID laws for an idea that we don't have any evidence was an issue. The illegals voting. Like, what do we really have on illegals voting?
Yeah. I would love to know how.
But this is why you're putting the rule in. If there was no election fraud that was found, there wasn't a significant amount of election fraud. But it's like, now you're jumping really hard and throwing out these voter laws. Like, for what? What's the point? Why do you care that much if you're not basing it off actual fraud? What are you basing this law? Why do you need a new law? What's wrong with what happened before? You mad because they got more people of color to turn out?
That's what it comes out to. You know, too many of you decide to come on out here.
We couldn't woo enough of you to our side at the same time.
We can't have that. We cannot continue to have y'all coming out here in droves. So we're gonna have to make this thing a little more difficult. We're gonna shut down some voting polls. We're gonna make y'all, like, we understand that y'all take buses. We're gonna make you have to take about 4 or 5 of them things. And we're gonna go ahead and talk to scheduling. Transfers ain't gonna be hitting that day. That day is just not. Bus is gonna be running a little late. Some of you will make it. Those of you who persevere, but we just can't continue to have this. We just.
It's gonna be about 97 degrees when you get there. We have no water.
Just can't. We just can't continue to have this. We just can't. We can't.
That's how. That's the only thing. Nobody's making an actual argument. So it's like, hey, what's the point? What's the point in adding these voter laws if there was no fraud proof?
What is the point of any? Because once again, it comes back to the theater of things. It comes back to the show and dance of things, and how everything is effectively fake, and how we, the people, just continue just to eat it up and allow them to just, basically tell us whatever like they want to tell us, and we just go off it because they're feeding into our emotion. They're feeding in the headlines, and everybody usually just listens to one source of news. They don't try to do their own research and figure out, well, what exactly are they talking about here? What is this? What is that? They just go off of whatever is easier to be given to them. The laziness of Americans is going to be our fucking downfall. Now,
then you fall for a word salad like Kamala.
I like that transition right there. I like that transition. So speaking of Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
Kamala.
I said Kamala, right?
Yeah.
Kamala.
Listen, Kamala was a famous WWE wrestler. Spelled the same way. So now, Vice President Harris, right? Now, you sent me this video of her saying a whole bunch of hot basura.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and show the people exactly what was fucking going on with her fucking nonsense and fallacies up in this damn thing, right?
Now, this was one of those, me and my wife had said something to me about like, oh, what does word salad mean? And I'm like, it's kind of when you just, throw out a bunch of words, you don't really say anything.
Don't say a damn thing.
I'm like, usually it's more highbrow language, or you throw a bunch of fancy words, but they don't really mean anything, kind of like Deepak Chopra. But with this one, it was more, I know that you don't know what to say, and you don't want to get caught, so you just say words and hope that worked out, and you can move on past it.
Got slide on in that thing real fast.
She doesn't say anything here.
Well, let's find out what she doesn't say on the Today Show.
As we sit here this week, we saw a record number of hospitalizations, adults and children. We've seen the infection record broken. I think a lot of people are scratching their heads and they're wondering, 1 year into this administration.
You know what? I won't even do that. I'm going to let it play. Let it play.
What are you going to say?
I'm not even that kind of guy. I'm not, right? The fuck is he doing? The fuck is going on, dog?
I honestly didn't even, I think I saw that, but I didn't realize it before.
First of all,
the shoe color, the sock,
the shoes. You were gonna fucking interview the Vice President of the United States of America. These are the shoes you decided to wear. Then you decided to put on blue socks,
bright blue.
This suit does not look tailored. It could be, but does not look good. Does not look tailored. Fire him. Then your tie and your fucking and the goddamn suit pocket, like the handkerchief suit pocket, like, you know what I mean? It's two different colors.
Yeah, you got a bright green, a dark green, blue socks. I don't know. I didn't realize this before. My guess, maybe he wasn't expecting the angles.
I have to take.
Maybe they both weren't ready for this interview.
I have to take a word or a phrase, excuse me, from Pat McAfee. This guy's a clown. It's a clown. Clown. The fucking clown.
Now this is
what is going on?
Wardrobe and heart.
Yins is out here looking crazy. Like, bruh.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize that. I saw that like bright blue. I was like, whoa, this is a bright sock.
I was trying to figure this shit with the green, like, what?
I don't know.
Look crazy. All right, let's get back onto what you didn't. I'm sorry, I just had to
pass the petty.
Like, I'm petty as shit. Like,
let's petty out.
Come on, son, this is crazy. Fuck is this? You know?
Ms. Parker
Scratching their heads and they're wondering, 1 year into this administration, why aren't we doing better in the fight against COVID?
So let me start with saying that people are rightly frustrated with where we are. We're frustrated. We're all frustrated, but I think it's a mistake, and it would be a mistake to suggest that we've not seen great progress. If you think back to March of 2020, we were all wiping down the boxes that we got if we order things.
Time out. Hold on, because you got to pause it for the fucking copyright effect.
This was I give that point.
All right, we'll let her keep going. We'll let her keep
I
going.
give that point.
You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Here we go.
was
We have
online.
progressed.
There was no vaccine. Now we have a vaccine, which has proved to be effective. And
Didn't we have the vaccine under Trump?
Yes, we did. But you didn't
And
want to get
then-
credit for if Trump says to take the vaccine, I'm not taking it. Fuck out of here. Like,
But now
all of a
Joseph
sudden,
Biden comes in office.
hey,
Get 17 jabs. Get 17. Get 17 of them bad boys. And we have no idea what any of them are going to fucking do to you. No idea.
we have ideas. Well, we have
We're going to vaccine
We
our
have-
way out of this thing.
we have
Vaccine's not
somewhat of
stopping
an
shit.
idea. No,
Even though we all know the vaccine wasn't supposed to stop shit. We all know that.
Right,
We know they
right.
said that.
You should know that. You should know that.
Even though
Some
they did in the
people
beginning
sound
say
same
that. Even though they did say in the beginning that it wasn't going to stop it. But all of us who were listening were like, you're lying. We know
Yes.
it's not going to stop it. Like, we know that this thing is just going to like help you have a better chance of getting it.
Yes.
But the fact is that you motherfuckers been lying to us since day one. As a matter of fact, something that no one ever fucking wants to talk about. What about you motherfuckers who made money off of knowing we were going to be sitting our asses home for forever? Huh? What about that meeting y'all done had, them governors had, saying, well, hey, listen here, guys. Excuse me. Let me put my
Stock.
Listen. Actually, I can't even do a trumpet person. I'm just going to tell you how it was in my own way. Listen, motherfuckers. This shit is about to blow the fuck up. They fucking China up. It's going over different countries. Your shit's about to get crazy. I should probably get y'all shit in order. You know what I'm saying? This shit is looking hot. Invest in this, do that. But, like, of course, they probably didn't say that portion of the governance meeting. Maybe they did. But our governors knew. There were politicians who knew.
They had some
Nope.
idea that something was happening.
And no one said anything to us.
This wasn't a shock.
Not at all.
They might not have expected it to go as bad. Maybe, but
Then this is that fault then, because we put you in powers for this then. And then also under the same token, you were tracking what was happening over there in China. I understand that they had the country on lockdown, but we don't got no fucking spies over there. We didn't know what was going on. I get it. You probably didn't want to compromise some of them, but somebody gonna have to get compromised so we can for the greater good of the nation. Huh?
unless it was like that movie I haven't finished yet, Up, where they knew and they wanted to warn you, and they just wouldn't let you warn them. Maybe
Could be.
maybe somebody was here like, yo, y'all about to get sick. Everybody's gonna be stuck home. Buy Zoom stock. Buy it now.
Send them on to the retort. All right, let's go ahead and let's see what else
Yes,
she
keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Because this shit gets
and
fun.
boosters. Now we have our children back in school. 95% of schools are back open, but we're building back up. We're opening back up, and we are not where we were a year ago.
Let's talk about masks for a second. It's been several weeks now since public health experts have acknowledged that cloth masks, surgical masks, they're not as effective in terms of stopping this new variant, Omicron. Should Americans be wearing?
This is the best part. Oh my!
We're about to
goodness.
get to it.
This is great.
Here we go.
This is great.
Basically saying that what everyone is wearing isn't doing
Doesn't
anything.
do shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all wasting our times. Here we go.
Wearing N95 masks or N95 masks?
Well, the CDC is going to be providing us with those guidelines.
Well,
but
what's
according-
taking so long?
Well, the CDC is making their decisions. I don't make the CDC's decisions. But what I will say is what has been clear about masks is you want to wear a tight-fitting mask. That is clear. And we want to urge everybody to do that. In terms of the N95 masks, they are available. There is a stockpile of I believe, over 700 million.
No, this wasn't the part. Not yet. I jumped the gun. But this is
Wow.
one. If you look this up, they tell you don't buy these.
These N95s?
Yeah, only because they're like, yeah, these are the best, but healthcare officials need these. Healthcare people need these. So, like, try and be
death care.
generous. Hell yeah, it's essentials need these.
Well, something else too.
Granted, I'm
I wanna-
essential, but whatever.
I do want to tell something else I want to say. For most people.
Because you still get it from Debbie.
We
good?
that one. Nah, you can't. If you would not, you could
But not really.
and aspirate, but not really.
But not really.
Like you, Yeah. The way you are, the way you're gowned up now, you're good. And then only thing could happen possibly an aspiration, but now like you're good to go. Like
Basically,
basically. I don't think there's been any evidence of a decedent giving it to someone. But with these N95 masks, you gotta get a fitted test. Like I know people are just out here rocking them and shit. Like for instance, me with this beard, it's not
that ain't
fully
gonna work.
effective.
No, because
It's
it
not
needs to
100%
be.
effective.
Yeah, that's the other part. Is it needs to be like suctioned onto your face.
Listen,
I said
when
masks
Justin
aren't
was
for beards.
when
No.
Justin was coming home, I remember when Justin like this whole damn thing was happening. He had to shave, he had to get the damn test, and then he would come home, and because the fucking mask would be like suction onto his face, I would see the indents. Like he would come home and you would clearly see like, oh, you were out
Yeah,
there
no,
really fighting
yeah.
with this shit. Like yeah, he used to be like he worked on the like the like when the this whole thing was in the beginning of this thing, right? And shows how stupid we are. So like our whole thing was like, all right, get home, take clothes off in foyer, go straight to shower. Now fucking you can live life. And then eventually it start to like more things come out. You just start to live, especially, both of us doing what we do. It's just like, I don't think that a lot of this shit we're doing is unnecessary, bud. Like I can just take my clothes over. I've been taking them off at normally, taking the shower normally, like you do. Like it was a lot of like fear in the beginning, right? Because you didn't know. But
You didn't know.
So I think a lot of that, like when she's like, oh well, look what we are now. A lot of it's just natural, and a lot of that did happen under Trump. But then people were arguing, they're still arguing the science. Like at the end of the day, this is what I tell people. My thoughts: the South is not supposed to be here. The South is not supposed to be here, according to what the people in office right now are saying. Listening to you, the South, everybody down there supposed to have been dead. We should have lost half of America.
Yep.
We didn't. Some people saying, well, we still lost one life. We did. But I would say a lot of that is because, like, in something else nobody wants to have a conversation about is, why is there no treatment for America for COVID-19? Justin got COVID. They just was like, yeah, you tested positive. Go to the crib, hang out. Come in here if you need us. But other than that, you should be all right. There's no kind of medicine or anything like that.
Because
and then something you're coming to find out. There's one other thing I want to say too.
Yeah.
I'll come out here and say this. The vents are killing people, as we know now. But truly, like, and it made sense because I work with an individual, and he's an embalmer, and he caught it, right? And he didn't go to the hospital, toughed it out at the crib, and he should have died. At the time, you know what I mean? Like he had pre-existing condition, and he's a big, like, actually I'm exaggerating, but he's a big boy. Well, he was a big boy.
He fits the comorbidities.
He's not supposed to be here. He stayed at home, did upright stuff, standing, kind of like hacked it up. And, the reason that he would say is because that, hey, listen, like, he will be taking people into like, into our care. And, when you take them from, hospitals and things like that, depending on the circumstances, they sometimes don't remove everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he would get back and, people are on, with ventilators, and he pulls the tube out and it's filled. They're drowned. They're just on their back, and then they drown.
So that's what's causing the ventilator to fail.
At least in our opinion. We don't, but fuck, we know. We're not medical.
It could be that it gets backed up otherwise, but
yeah, it could be.
I think the ventilator thing was just you're kind of now working for your lungs, so your muscles just can't do it themselves.
Which I understand, because once again, but we were early in the pandemic, right? So you didn't know any better. So I understand that. But my beef is that this is 2022. COVID. It was named COVID-19. We fucking all got sent home in 2020. We are now in 2022, and you still don't have any kind of treatment for it for regular citizens. Like, you got to go listen to Joe Rogan and them to get about the the antibodies, the anti-monoclonal antibodies, and the fucking drips. Also, the extra shit that the rich people are doing that they're fucking being fine with that they don't want to let us, the regular people, know about. I'm confused.
I feel like there really is nothing. It's watching videos on it. At the end of the day, it's like the flu in the sense of you just got to ride it out. Like there
So then
really
what are we
is
doing
no
all this for?
fix. While they're still trying to, I think it's because they're still trying to grasp how to deal with it. We're gonna, I think, move in the direction that overseas across the pond are doing, where, hey, we're just gonna have to learn how to live with this.
Yeah, well,
Like
well,
I think
one,
we're moving more and more in that direction. Each time, even with the restrictions that they're adding, it's just wear masks. Just keep wearing masks. Like that's it. That's all we got.
hold on. Let me, well, see in here, and this is where we're going to go ahead and have a little bit of debate.
This works.
Oh, hold on. He sent me messages. Oh, no. Okay, no. Because I was about to say, why didn't he just text me? Okay. So I got a buddy of mine, right? He's been on my podcast, the audio version. My man Big Joe. So I'll leave him as. But Big Joe posted something on his Facebook machine. And in it says in Mexico, they get free early treatment, including ivermectin. In the US, we get faulty, disrupt your life for a week or 2 tests mailed to us for free and absolutely no early treatment. Makes sense yet? And then this COVID kit that's within Mexico is, I can't pronounce a lot of this shit, but I'll put it to the, hold on, let me put it to the camera for the people so you can see it. But I don't know if people will be able to kind of see that.
Yeah, too blurry to read.
It's too blurry, but that's
But it's a
effectively. You know what? Let me. I'm gonna go ahead and send it to myself. Why did I fucking just do that? Like I can't just send it to myself to fucking share it. But they get a kit. There are other, like, Japan. They have a treatment, like, kind of thing they got going on. India has one. How is it that America doesn't have one? It just makes you wonder, like, what is the ultimate goal of this? Why aren't we able to move on with our fucking lives? Especially when you look at it like from this avenue, in the sense of we're all gonna get it, right?
Right.
So, like, the question is, like, what are we fighting the inevitable at this point?
That's what I think. I think that's
I
what
don't.
they end up
Oh,
getting
man,
to. He kind of starts to lead them to with Kamala, with like the people who don't want to get vaxxed. It's like, yeah, we do have to move to a point of we now just all deal with it. The only thing is, I could still understand from businesses' standpoints where trying to live with it is rough.
All right.
Where you
So
got 5-6 employees. Yes. Where you got 5-6 employees out at the same time. My brother had COVID. He said like 4 other bartenders at the spot he worked at had it too. So it's like, are you gonna then have these people come and keep serving drinks and possibly get the rest of your staff sick, and then your cook gets sick and they're getting it in all your food, and then everybody that's coming there is getting sick? Can you really risk something like that? Like I think that's what they're trying to figure out how to deal with.
Listen, then remember, because the CDC changed guidelines saying after 5 days you can go ahead and back to work.
Their guidelines are weird. I mean, I think that's they're pushing in that we're just going to try and live with this.
Which I think you do have to get to because especially with the Omicron, like, if we're all gonna, like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like, what are we
masks that we have
fighting?
aren't going to stop it, so what's the point?
They're not going to stop
Neither mask that I have works, and I switched to the medical ones because I'm like, oh, maybe this is better because it's a little tighter fit. But no, like, this shit sucks too. So
you know what bothers me the most is that, like, people, it's always the most unhealthiest people. Like, just get the vaccine. It's like, can you fucking run a block?
Right.
Like,
vaccine ain't gonna help you. Not like that.
Like,
it'll help a little bit. So it's
listen,
cool, get it. But if you're not,
you want to be honest with you? I ain't seen no one who looked like you or me, white, black, Spanish, Asian, whatever. Like, but like I ain't seen nobody like us on that table with COVID.
Generally not. I don't think that there's not a whole. There's some.
Oh,
but
of course there will. There's outliers.
Just because, yeah. But then, yeah, definitely outliers.
9.9 out of 10 have multiple.
They said 75%. Granted, I think it's more, but they said 75.
What?
75% of the people who died from this had comorbidities. At least 4, I think. That might be a stretch of a comment in the at least 4 part, but the CDC did, I think, come out and say like, yep, because ABL, Anthony Bryan Logan, I think, came out and was like, we've been saying this from the beginning. And in my head, I'm like, everybody's already known this too. So like, yeah, everybody who pays attention that's just not listening to straight up media knows that the majority of people dying from this shit had comorbidities, which is why we're trying to tell everybody to mask up, because the majority of our freaking country is comorbidities. So,
AKA, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. Fat niggas.
yeah.
I said it. You gotta do. And I'm not talking about the chunky and thick motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you happen to be, you know, you just bigger, but you're in shape. I ain't talking about you.
No,
If you,
that unhealthy big, like that
if you can't move without. Why we? Hold on one second. Girl, my heart, you know that hurt. Or if you a dude,
sweating, just walking off.
We going pass me that piece. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get that 3-piece right there. Yeah, that's fine. Whew. When you sit down, I gotta get the and then when you eating, you gotta yo, them niggas is lying. You know them niggas be lying. If you like both of you niggas talking to you.
Those are the people that that's what I think the rules are out there for.
Yes.
That's why I didn't go back to the gym still, because at the end of the day, I live in a house full of comorbidity people. So do I really want to put them at risk like that? I'm already out there because of work. So it's like am I going to test the waters with this ain't that serious when I got people who live right with me that you will be severely affected if could be. Get this. You got it, and they've all survived fine. But I won't say that it was easy for all of them. Even vaccine now, it was rough on my wife. So both things.
Vaccines
One,
are
COVID was
rough.
Vax is rough. So it's like I get both sides why you don't want to do it. I still think people should do it, but
it's and me personally, so like it's me and Justin. We are both like we're in shape, we're young, we're ready to go. So it's a different kind of not giving a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, when I went down like with my family and stuff, they don't give a fuck, so I don't give a fuck. Like, it's like, all right, we gonna roll because y'all live down here anyway. So I'm probably the most at risk one in this fucking whole equation. Yeah. You niggas is thriving down here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, shout out to them. But like, so I definitely understand your point on it. But it just still makes me feel, because like there are still a whole bunch of big people I found out that haven't died from it. Who've gotten it. So I got a friend. I got a few friends. Like I got some friends who used to be, listen, they used to listen. When we play sports, they look like you. Now they look like Trent Williams, and not in a good way. So, and then they survive. So I'm not just saying that like just because you're big, you're gonna go into the ground.
Right, exactly. You most likely still will make it, but the people who don't make it tend to look more like you.
Yes, they do, and it's always fucked up. But even with that said, I still think you gotta let the doors off. Like, look at the South; they're all not dead. And you ain't gonna tell me with the way that the motherfuckers eat and cook and look in the South. Come on, son.
Right.
High blood pressure is a staple down there with motherfuckers who are our size.
Right.
And white, black, that don't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it just makes you wonder.
At the end of the day,
this is the people that we live with. So we do have to go at some point, which I think is part of why that CDC is like, hey, we're pushing this down to 5. Because, hey, within the first 5 days, you're pretty sick and probably pass it on to people after that. You'll be fine. Most likely.
I went to a Fluffy show. I went to a Gabriel and Glacier show. A lot of big people there. Right? You know something funny? I didn't get any kind of notification from DOH or anybody about any kind of outbreak happening at that show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and everyone's living there. Like, I'm like, like, I think you just do what Florida did in regards to, like, if you want to have some kind of safety protocols in place, you want to make sure that the vulnerable population is able to maneuver and do things that they need to do and shit like that. But then for the rest of us savages, let us fucking go and make our own decisions. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Because, like, y'all don't know as much as we don't know. So y'all keep saying what we should do and you let us make that fucking decision. It is what it is, at least in my decision, because nothing's going to change. Like,
if they leave it as you should do this, let them go. This is what you should do. This is what we suggest. This is what we recommend. Which plays into where it gets to Kamala's part being like,
I'm about to say, let's go ahead and
honest. Just be honest about it.
Well, let's go ahead and see this thing.
Then. Yes.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you on that part.
Can you hear?
Of those masks?
Yep.
So the supply is there as necessary and as needed.
At what point does the administration say, you know what, this strategy isn't working? We're going to change strategies. 6 former administration officials last week wrote that open letter urging the administration to change course, to change strategy. Is it time?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day.
I had to pause it. And here we go.
All you had to do is say yes.
Every day it is time for us to agree that there are things and tools that are available to us to slow this thing down. And so right now we know we still have a number of people that is in the millions of Americans who have not been vaccinated and could be vaccinated, and we are urging them to get vaccinated.
Bitch, that was not the question.
Not at all. Not at all. They didn't ask you that. They didn't ask about people being vaccinated. They didn't get there yet.
This is why people hate politicians. And this is why you were acting the fool on Charlamagne's show. You fucking idiot. You and Biden both.
Caught off guard.
Which you shouldn't have been. Because
at this point in time, you should know it's coming.
You're failing. You haven't. We're not moving this needle fucking forward. We got to get this fucking country opened up. We got to fucking get after this goddamn thing. You still got, like, this is weird, man. Like, let's fucking go. But let's continue to hear your lies.
Because it will save their life.
At what point does the administration acknowledge these people aren't going to get the shot? They're just not going to do it.
I don't believe in giving up on people, Craig. I really don't.
The 500 million tests that have been ordered that are going to be sent to every American. Do we know when those are going out?
Shortly. Though they're going to go out shortly. They've been ordered. I have to look at the current information.
I think I let that go for too long. Did I let that go?
No. That's fine.
Hold on. Let's keep it going because this is interesting.
I think it's going to be by next week, but soon. Absolutely soon.
And it'll be mailed to all of us?
Should we have done that sooner?
We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We are doing it.
Let's turn the voting rights here for a moment. You were there in Atlanta with the president when he compared those.
Why? Like, she wants to know why she has such a low approval rating. Like, see, so my question becomes is, so right now it sounds like to me that she is as you know, she wants to be subservient to Biden, and I'm saying it on purpose like that, is because she wants to be on his ticket again.
Yeah,
she was on his ticket again.
She's trying to stay in good graces / stay good enough that she might be able to overtake him.
But she's not if she doesn't step out on a limb. Like, people understand that if you don't take chances, then it's not going to happen. And right now, you're out here playing the game looking like boo-boo the fucking fool, more than you already have been because you've been looking crazy. But you're looking like boo-boo the fool, like these are layups in the sense of just be truthful and honest.
Right. That's it. That's all it takes. It's not even like you have to be like crazy. We got to give out info that we didn't give. Like, no, should y'all be going in a different direction? Yeah, we're working on that.
100%.
We don't necessarily have a set in stone plan. We do understand people aren't going to get vaccinated, so we're just going to try and figure out how to work with that.
But no.
You could take a soundbite out of that and maybe try and run with it, but once you give the full context, everybody would look at the beginning and say, hey, at least you said that. Because why do I say this? I listened to Anthony Bryan Logan on it, and I listened to Kyle Kalinske. Secular Talks left, Anthony Bryan's right. They both said the same exact thing. She just threw out word salad. She didn't really say anything. All she had to do was say, yeah, we're going in a different direction. Yeah, we're trying to prep. Like, that's it.
Kamala Harris
she
will never be the president of the United States of America.
No. She's only there because Biden stuck his foot in his mouth and wanted to win black votes.
Listen, well, you know what? Listen, she is to Biden what Biden was to Obama. Like this is just, I'll play ball with you people. That's what this shows you. I will play ball with you to a point. Obama played ball a lot more than fucking Biden. Let's get back to her fucking lies. Fucking bullshit.
Those who oppose Democratic-backed voting bills that are currently in the Senate. He compared the folks who oppose those to folks who oppose civil rights. Senator Romney, in response yesterday, he took to the floor of the Senate, and he said, quote, so much for unifying the country. When the president was on the campaign trail in the fall of 2020, he said something.
So we just went over that voting rights bill.
I don't see anything remotely close to that comparison.
No, there is and then because there are some legitimate questions within that does need to be answered.
Yes.
But see, right now, what America loves to do is they love to play on our emotions. Use trigger words to get people going and riled up, and then no one really is going to go back and do their research. Like, and then it's always fucking Democrats trying to paint the Republicans in a racist way all the time, not even when they're really trying to be racist. So when the time that they are actually racist and you call it out, everybody's gonna be like, you do this all the time.
You do this all the time. Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's their grift, I think. That's how the Democrats grift is. We're going to scream racism and point it out, and to our detriment, we bite.
Well, that's the only reason, excuse me.
Generally because of lack of critical thinking.
The only reason, well, besides lack of critical thinking, I'll take it a step further. The reason that they're screaming racism is because that they want to use that as the way, well, this is how we're placing it in the black community. We're trying to fight racism, bro. We're trying to get it right for you. We know that this is wrong, and we understand that we have all been able, the way the society is set up, we have been able to, flourish within it, and, you're kind of getting fucked over, whatever like that. We're going to try to fix it now. We are now. We're going to scream racism, and we're going to call this shit out, but not do anything behind it to actually truly try to fix it, like the whole fucking policing act, the Georgia Floyd Policing Act, right down the fucking gutter. But okay, we didn't break that bill, we broke this one down. I probably would have some issues with that one as well. But we can even take it a step further, and we can go look at hey, it is still not a hate crime to hang somebody.
Right. Why? Why do people care that?
Why?
Or not whether you care. That's a bad way to frame it, but. Why has this not been passed in legislation? Yeah. Why does this get turned down? Why do you not care to add that in? Yes. Why do you not care?
But you want to scream racism. But we can't even get that passed?
Right.
In Emmett Till's name? Interesting. Great. Oh, yeah. And that bitch who fucking was the reason that he fucking got killed, she's fucking still alive. I would love if she was able to go to jail. The same way you put old Nazis in jail, put that bitch in jail. All right, let's get back to this liar. What is the female fucking? What would be Pinocchio's name in fucking as a girl? Pinocchio.
I know. Did he ever get a girlfriend?
Well, no. I'm saying. Oh, I don't know if Pinocchio did get a girlfriend. I don't think so, right?
I don't think there was ever a second one because he turned into a real boy. Yeah,
I'm a real boy now. Liar. Fucking nose was going big.
He said, with Trump out of the way, the vindictiveness of a president going after Republicans who don't do exactly what he says gets taken away. Isn't that exactly what President Biden did in Atlanta on Wednesday?
President Biden took the, I believe, right and courageous step to say that Senate rules should not get in the way of protecting the American people's access.
All right, hold on. Let's just pause it.
He's trying to nice word what he said.
To the ballot.
Yep, here we go.
And he compared this time to a previous time in our history.
Can we hold on? I can't believe anything she's saying because you can tell that she's trying to figure out what she's going to say as she's talking.
Yep. She's thinking.
Look at all of her body
hard.
cues.
She's like, and then I'm like, the editor in me, I'm like, I can see your edits. So you cut her pauses. You must have cut her pauses because this isn't clean. She doesn't know what to say. She's caught off guard with the questions. Like, how can I make what he said sound nice and slam Republicans and make them sound racist without saying that he did that, but saying it is why we hate you.
Here we go. Oh, fucking liar.
Which is apt for comparison.
It's not just Republican opposition. It would seem as if this piece of legislation is going to come down to one or two moderate Democrats. In months and weeks, the administration hasn't been able to convince one or two senators to come around. How are you going to do that in 2 or 3 days?
If I may, I'd like to contextualize this conversation.
Sure.
Which is in 2006, in this very town of Washington, D.C., up the street at the United States Capitol, in the United States Senate.
I got to pause it because I
the
lost
old
my damn
person
point.
thing.
This
That's
is
an old person thing. That's an old person thing of like, let me throw in this historical comment about where I was and what day and what room I was in.
What this means to
make
me.
this, because that's going to make my point even stronger. Like, just say, yo, I argued for this before.
Here we go.
98 of the 100 members of the United States Senate voted in favor of an extension of the Voting Rights Act. It was not a partisan issue. It was an American issue.
But Madam Vice President, how are you going to get it done?
Well, when we have the discussion about who's responsible.
When I figure it out, I'll let you know, motherfucker. Don't be asking me these questions, and you can clearly tell I don't know. You see I'm in hot water? Look at me. You can tell I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. You keep putting me to the fire. This guy's suit looks fucking horrendous. He needs to get a fucking stylist and figure that shit out. His wife need to get him fucking right. But fucking goddamn it, does he not got some good questions?
That's what she wanted to say to him. She's like, what's wrong with your socks? Ask me
these questions with these fucked up socks. And your pocket square is not even the same color as your tie, nigga. And what kind of shirt you got on, nigga? And why is your pants not tailored? But you won't come to me, the vice president.
Asking me about how are we gonna get something done.
How we gonna get something
What kind
done?
of question
Motherfucker,
is
I'm in
that?
a Kevlar suit, bitch. Back up off me. Here we go.
Responsible. I will not absolve the 50 Republicans in the United States Senate from responsibility for upholding one of the most basic and important tenets of our democracy, which is free and fair elections and access to the ballot for all eligible voters.
What about Senator?
Well, how do you fix it? You didn't answer that question. How are you gonna merge it? I will not absolve them. Well, bitch, what is that? Okay, you're not gonna
What
talk
is that
about
gonna
how
do?
are you gonna fix them? Because what are you gonna do? They're gonna tell you to get the fuck out of my office and tell you Secret Service to fucking close the door when they leave out of here. It's America, baby. Fuck out of here.
I'm gonna not
What about
absolve
Senator
them.
I don't think
Not absolve them.
I'm gonna not absolve them. That's what I'm going to do. Like, what? That's not answering. That doesn't answer anything.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
anyone should be absolved from the responsibility of preserving and protecting our
Are
democracy,
you working-
especially when they took an oath to protect and defend our Constitution.
Time out. Are you gonna go in there and cry like you should do this? Stop
You
saying.
know, that means you have to do what we say because we say that it's right.
That's supposed to happen. That's what you fucking sound like right now.
Yeah.
That's what you sound like. You sound. You know who you sound like right now. She's a less extreme version of goddamn Brett Kavanaugh. God dang it, touch them girls. Yeah, same thing. Same thing. All of you motherfuckers on the hill just throw temper tantrums. All of you try to listen. Let me let you know something. I'm gonna let Brett Kavanaugh know something. I'm gonna let the goddamn officer who went on the stand, for the Dante. I think that was the Dante Wright trial, who was crying out there, whatever like that. That police instructor, whatever the fuck it is. I'm gonna let all you motherfuckers know something. You can't act. Leave that to the Broadway people. You leave that to the actors you see on television, the motherfuckers who are blockbuster movie. You're not an actor. We hired you. Got hired. That's what happened. You got hired. You got hired on a 4-year contract because the majority of this country thought that you'd be able to do something. They just need you to stick to who you are, your true self. Don't try to act. Don't try to lie. Don't try to do this bullshit. Because right now, we can see through it. And then if you have any kind of body behavior training at a bare minimum, you can clearly tell this is nothing but bullshit.
No.
And larger point, Joseph Biden ain't nothing but bullshit. Both of you motherfuckers are some of the most horrendous public speakers in this. Well, not public speakers, I would say, like, one of the public speakers. And then just actually answering questions and doing anything. Both of you are fucking scum. Like, the only difference is that, oh, she's real bad. So is he. Because he can't remember anything.
He can't remember anything. I at least give it to Trump that Trump would sort of answer things just in a long-winded way. Sometimes.
Bruh.
Or at the
I can't. Now, come on.
Trump danced.
His ass.
Trump
was known as he's the reason these niggas is dancing like this. They would have danced in a more better fashion a few years ago, but the reason she being so loose is like, well, Trump used to get out here and saying we're going to deport the Mexicans. All I'm stating is a bunch of nothing. That can't be that bad, right?
No, Trump.
What are my approval ratings? What are my approval ratings?
Trump would
negative 1,000, bitch. You suck.
I'll at least say to him, he wouldn't answer the question the first 3 times asked. That 4th one, he's over it. He's tired of trying to dance around it. So it would be like you're trying to ban message. This isn't the ban about message. We don't want them here. That's it. We just don't want them. They're not. They're illegal. That's it.
You don't want them. They're just gonna go over the.
I said I'm gonna ban Mexicans. I'm gonna stop them from coming in. That's it. That's it. What do you want to say?
Because once we fix the Mexican problem, the national security problem is no longer. You understand what I'm saying? All right.
He would always start with like dancing around, slide the answer into the middle, skirt past it, and keep it going. So are you trying to ban? We're just trying to stop people from coming over. Yes, they're coming from Mexico. That's it. What do you want to deal with?
You know what I mean? Like,
border control.
The people coming over from Germany is not that bad, right?
We got people coming from Germany and Sweden. We're not trying to stop everybody from coming in. Some people that come from bad areas, like Mexico.
Fucking punk. I fucking hate Trump. I fucking hate all these motherfuckers. They're all the same.
This dancing is bad.
This dancing is real bad.
I think it's worse than his.
Why has the administration not been able to get Senate Democrats on board?
We are not giving up.
No, but the question was why has it taken
this
long?
But you're acting as though it's over.
You're not going to answer this question, but you're acting like it's over.
Well, I mean,
it's not over.
So it's going to happen by Monday.
I'm saying it's not over, and we don't give up. We don't give up, and we will not give up.
Are we going
means it's a loss.
To see the same Democratic ticket in 2024?
I'm sorry. We are thinking about today. I mean, honestly, that I know.
Well, she might know that he might not make it to 2024.
Both of them suck. But then her as the president with fucking goddamn Nancy Pelosi.
Know why you're asking the question? Because This is the part of the punditry and the
Right.
gossip around places like Washington, D.C. Let me just tell you something. We're focused on the things in front of us. We're focused on what we need to do.
Gossip. Bitch, your approval ratings is horrible. His approval
Yeah.
ratings are horrible.
Yeah.
There is no way possible that America. Let me tell you something,
So a headline: he's lower than Trump.
bruh.
Lower than
If-
Trump's lowest.
Do you know who would win the election right now in America? Anybody, and that's what's scary.
Anybody else?
Right now. If
Toss up.
Joseph Biden versus Donald Trump round 2, I don't know how many people don't go back to voting for Trump who voted, who voted for him in the first term, didn't vote for him in the second one, but then they switched back on this one.
Yeah.
I don't see how that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I really don't, because these two, like, Tulsi Gabbard, save us.
To address
two are
issues like affordable childcare,
Oh,
what we
fuck.
need to do to
So
ensure
there have been no
that-
conversations about 2024.
the American people sent us here to do a job. And right now there's a lot of work to be done. And that's my focus.
It sounds
sincerely.
like you're
It's
at
not
least
your
familiar with
focus.
some of the punditry. I don't know if you've heard that there's been some talk about a Biden Cheney ticket perhaps in 2020.
Wait, what? What? Biden Cheney.
A.k.a. like let's boot.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get the chocolate to get us in here the first time. But then after that, we'll go ahead and get rid of her. Yeah, she sucks anyway. Fuck it. Yeah. Cheney, the military industrial complex, the fucking one of the goddamn heads of it. You know what I mean? The one that everyone says that was running the country. That George Bush wasn't running the country, and we all saw what that got us. But then, like, there's a possible Cheney and fucking goddamn Biden. You fuckers voted for him. You fuckers voted for him. You fucking idiots.
24. Did you read that article?
I did not. I know I did not. And I really could care less about the high class gossip on these issues.
She had a lot to say. The other thing that I thought was interesting, a lot of interesting things, but a lot of people
tire?
are at home waiting for those rapid tests.
Why didn't? So once again, like right now, let me teach everybody something real fast. I have to, and I'm not like the most stylish guy. Like, y'all see me come on here, like I'm not. But when it comes to sushi, but when it comes to, like, if we're gonna do it, let's do it. And there's certain rules you gotta abide by. So I'm about to teach every man something right here, right now. Okay, you do not wear a plaid shirt with a goddamn decorated, like, polka dotted fucking tie. It doesn't happen. You have a solid colored tie.
Solid.
Or if
yeah.
you have a solid shirt, then you can do a decorative tie.
Yes.
But doing this is way too much and it's distracting, especially on television, and it fucking makes you look amateur. Something else. You do not have a fucking pocket fucking goddamn piece. And I said it damn earlier, but you don't have a goddamn pocket square. That has nothing to do with any color. And then it's fucking look like it's on a goddamn fucking stilt. Whoever does the fucking wardrobe and makeup for these people should be fucking fired. It's another thing. The fuck is she wearing? Fuck is going on? Like, listen, people.
That's
I know
a
somebody's
old
right.
woman shirt.
People are gonna be listening. Like, you know what, Dean?
Old woman shirt.
Fuck do you be wearing? Listen, we've seen you with certain shirts. The same fucking, different episodes and shit like that. Guess what, people? I'm fucking Dean. My whole thing, I'm not on fucking national television. If I was on national television, you best believe I'm coming fucking Daza added T's across, will never wear the same outfit twice. But this is home productions, baby. Do what the fuck I want. These two are the stylists. Gotta go, dog. Gotta go. This is crazy. This is crazy. This
Yeah,
is
my man's
nuts.
with them socks.
He looks nuts right now. Like, he looks nut. Like, I'm not even into fashion. And I know. And does he have a pinstripe suit on? Nigga.
Yes, it's a gray stripe. Gray pinstripe. Yeah. He's all over with the designs.
Kamala Harris ain't say a goddamn thing.
No.
We found out that today's host have no kind of stylist.
No.
We found out that Dr. Umar Johnson is full of shit. He's a piece of shit. And also the Tesla Figaro is the queen of everything.
Yeah, she's fire.
Pretty good show.
She's fire.
Like it. Pretty good shit that we just covered there. I think It's pretty good. We went long, but fuck it. We doing the fuck we want over here. You know what I mean? It's good information.
Yes, this is a good deep dive.
Completely.
Without even
And I
going
like-
super deep.
No, we were
good.
just like
Kind of
surface.
still surface level deep.
Oh yeah, it's a whole lot more to go. You know what I mean? Well, listen here, people. This has been Zen Chaos. It's been one hell of a time. That over there is the big homie Zen. I am Dean, a.k.a. Chaos. Maybe I have to change my name for the next episode to Chaos. You know what I'm saying? Peace, love, and chicken. You know what I'm saying? Presented by Black and Berry Productions. We appreciate it. Y'all have a hell of a time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this thing. Go tell a friend, join, have debates, and listen, go fucking argue in the bottom. I will argue back with you.
I will too.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? You fucking you listen to like you got suck in your scumbags. Perfect. You fucking love us. Perfect. Like, share, and subscribe it. No matter if you like us, you love us, or you hate us, fucking go ahead and let everybody know about us. Appreciate you. Peace, love, and motherfucking chicken. Yeah. You got anything to say, Zen?
No, it's all comments and feedback. Like I say on my channel, always welcome. I'm down there. I'm not there to fight with y'all. I'm there to talk.
I'm giving whatever energy I get.
Yes.
You want to be educated? We can have education. But if you come in here thinking that I'm a bitch, well, my mama and father ain't raised no bitch.
I'll leave you on red.
There we go.
That a troll.
Peace out.